Find books your kids will want to read with engaging stories for kids, youth, and young adults, and nonfiction books to encourage and guide them on a purpose-driven life. The Wednesday Bookmark on CHRI.
T.R. Moore-Eid is a young Ottawa author of 5 Christian urban fantasy books, and she's with us to talk about Nearly Drowned, which is book 1 in her 20-plus book, Tearmann Chronicles. This one is when Melissa, adopted as an infant, searches for her true identity in a town of magical creatures and people with special abilities. Hello, Theresa. Welcome.
Hi.
So, Theresa, you live in a household with 11 other people, and yet somehow you manage to find time and quiet, especially in this season of lockdown, to work on your books. So let's start by this. What does writing mean to you?
At the beginning, it still is. It's entertainment. I love writing. I love my siblings read it. They're the first ones that they get to read it as I go along. I enjoy seeing their reactions, hearing what they think, and just diving into the different worlds and making up different magical kind of scenarios, and as well as kind of physics on how magic works.
That's fun. Yeah, we need lots of entertainment these days, especially being stuck at home, and it's great that you have an outlet for that. What is your vision? What's the long-term plan for the Tearmann Chronicles? My long-term plan is to obviously keep publishing, but in this series, I'm hoping to show that God's there. He doesn't do everything for us. He doesn't rescue us from everything, but He's there. He can help us through stuff, and yeah. Is the goal still 20-plus books for this series?
I'm not 100% sure. The last time when I sat down and kind of did my best to plan them out, it was around 27, but it really depends when I sit down and write. If I figure out that books either need to be put together or split apart, that can change the numbers.
Yeah. That's so neat. I mean, that's so many books. It's a lot of stories and interconnecting characters. How do you keep it all straight? Do you have a giant storyboard where it's all laid out? Can you give us a glimpse sort of at your creative process?
Well, for a good period of time, a lot of it was off the top of my head, although there was times I'd look at my siblings and be like, hey, did this happen or did that not happen?
Keeping track, yeah.
Yeah, I do have a doc filled with people's names. The series has a lot of characters, and so I have their names, their descriptions, even their parents' names, just major and minor characters. Yeah, I don't per se have a full timeline. I have a literal timeline where I've mapped it out on calendar to see how long things actually take to keep up with the weather.
Yeah.
And such like that.
That's cool, yeah. Well, it's neat because I know when we were chatting off air, you were saying that the goal is that at probably one point or another, these characters are going to meet each other. You know, these books, these storylines are going to intersect in a way. Is that true?
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, a lot to keep track of. And so let's dive into Nearly Drowned just a little bit. Tell us about Melissa and the main struggle that she's facing in this story.
Well, Melissa is, she's 16. She's very timid and shy, loves swimming with a passion. She has a large group of friends, and which are great for her, but at the same time, the moments where she can stand up for herself don't come as often because they're more than ready to stand up for their friend and lend a hand. So as she goes through this journey, which they are not there, she has to learn how to stand up for herself, even though she's terrified through these situations. Just push herself forward in it.
Yeah, nice. What do you want the big takeaway message from her particular storyline to be for readers? When people finish reading book 1, how do you want people to feel? What's the lesson?
Just keep moving forward, I guess, because life isn't always easy, as we all know, and just pushing through is a lot of the time is what's best for us to do.
Okay, my last question for you, Theresa, is, first of all, I think it's so inspiring that you're 21 years old and you're already a self-published author of 5 books. So what would you say to encourage other aspiring writers or just creative young people? What's your advice for them?
Keep going, especially going with, I don't have any experience with trying to pursue the traditional published area, but keep going, keep pushing. It's not going to be easy, but you learn as you go, and do your research into what you're doing. And if this is what God's calling you to do, then He will bring about what needs to be there at the right time, whether you feel it's the right time or not. And
Well, again, the first 5 books of the Tearmann Chronicles for teens are out by Tearmann. And if you're looking to get into a long-term series, Theresa's got commitment here, and so you'll be with her for the long haul, and I love that. You can start with book 1. It's called Nearly Drowned. Theresa, congratulations, and thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you.
To hear this interview again or to discover more great books your kids will want to read, visit bookmark.chri.ca. The Wednesday Bookmark